What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat. We're here at Gnomoria one more time in Nompton, playing another episode where we're going to fend off some mants, probably do some more exploratory mining, and maybe fiddle around with a few more things on the surface. So the first thing that I'd like to do in this episode is maybe begin cordoning off some of this area so that we can continue building. How does that sound? Does that seem like something that might be slightly cool? Alright, well, let's go ahead and do it then. I mean, our builders are free. And so actually our builders are not free right now as far as I know. Let me make sure all these torches are in place down here before I go any further. I did all the exploratory mining by myself because I get the distinct feeling most people are probably not that interested in watching torches be allocated and watching me just kind of piddle around on this lair. However, we found nothing. We got nothing, guys. We are in big trouble. We have absolutely nothing. And so it's sort of depressing. It's a little, it brings me low. It brings me very low. And so that's okay, though, because, I mean, technically we're 51, we're a lot. I mean, I don't know how many meters a lair is in this game. I think it's supposed to be like 5 meters or something like that. We're like 250 meters down under the ground right now. And so we're already pretty low, so feeling much lower probably isn't going to change much. But we're going to need to figure out what we want to do about the remainder here, because we need to find iron. I mean, if we don't find iron, that's that, amigos. We are in bad shape. So I think maybe what I'll consider doing is going something like, and I did that wrong, let's start from where I want to be and go to where we should be. And there it is. And so that should allow us, hopefully, yeah, that's going to be okay. So once that corridor has been gone, we'll continue doing the same thing, namely being like bam, 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 bam. Just kind of taking a look right there, doing our Flintstones thing, making sure that there's nothing on this layer. Worst case scenario that I'm really looking for is maybe to find a little stringer of iron that's laying around somewhere. And if we can find that, at least we'll know that we can go up and down from this layer to find it. Unfortunately, as it stands right now, we don't appear to be having much luck, and it's very disappointing. We found a lot of lead. We've even found platinum, which is incredibly rare. But no iron. I'm starting to wonder, it's usually, I mean, you're not guaranteed to find iron the second you hit 50, so that is one thing that I do want to mention. We're at the minus 51, and I'm expecting to find iron. It's easier to find copper and tin and things, but we're going to need it pretty soon because we've got invasions coming in that are fully equipped with bronze gear. And so as the game plays along, we just sort of want to make sure that we've got the countermeasures to make sure that we don't end up getting consumed by enemies that are out-gearing us. We've also been coming up against mants in the previous episode. Mants are a very dangerous enemy and not one that you want to take lightly if it's your first time playing Gnomoria. So if you're in your playthrough right now, if you're about to go into like your second year, make sure that you are aware of mants and you know how to deal with them. Basically, you just want to make sure that you issue an attack order every time you see one, unless you don't have bronze armor. If you don't have bronze armor, let them escape and come what may, and just kind of, you might live a little bit longer. You're going to get an invasion either way. You might as well send somebody out to see if they can fight with him. But what you're going to find in that case is, if you're in copper, it's going to be a really uphill battle to the point where you're probably going to need like carabiners, and you're probably going to need all kinds of climbing gear to the point where it's not even uphill anymore, it's just a cliff. So in copper gear, you're probably going to get annihilated by mants, but you can give it a shot just to see if you can keep the scout from coming in. I'm willing to wager that our scouts are coming from the fact that we just have too much food in our stockpile, because mants are definitely, like, they're attracted to the crispy bits. I mean, like any of us, they really like good food, so I think I'm going to go through, let's make sure that I've named my entire population right now. I'm pretty sure I have. We still have Fink. I don't know if Fink was a name that I gave or if that was the name. I renamed one of our warriors, and it wasn't any of the suggested names. He's Krogar the Caps Locked, because I like to name my warriors funny things. Oh, it looks like we've actually got everybody. We haven't gotten any, yeah, we haven't got any nomads, I think, in probably 2 seasons now, so I don't think there is anybody to rename at this point. What I will say is that, how many do we have in the pine? We have 140, so we can basically just chop this down right now. So let's send in our lumberjacks to get rid of these trees, because we have more than enough plantings, or we have more than enough clippings to just replant that instantly. Over here we will have to take them to, or we will have to assign them to take clippings. That's going to replenish our log supply pretty rapidly. That should put us up to over 100 logs, which is good because we haven't been over 100 logs in a while. And as you can tell, most of the problems with our map are that we have a lot of fruit trees around, and I'm afraid to chop down anything else. Llamas, not breeding. They haven't been frisky. I get the feeling that maybe the male llama has, like, I don't know. He's got some llama-esque feature that is not attractive to the female. He's not getting any right now, and it's disappointing for him. Oh, that bear is beating up a mant. Well, I should probably send my squads to go finish it off just to make sure. Actually, did the mant beat the bear? Mants are pretty tough. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, there he is right there. Is the bear more beat up, or is... Okay, so the bear is pretty tore up. Did he do any damage to the mant at all? Oh, the mantis pretty injured too. So I don't know who's gonna win right here, but we'll give it a go. Let's kind of see what happens. And then we'll also have them kill the bear while we're here. Because why not? They should be able to take a bear no problem in in bronze gear. And so the bear is now down. What I'm going to do is, the bears, I don't know what it is about nature. We must be druidic or something, because nature is really feeling us lately. It has been ensuring that we do not die. Now, I don't know precisely how to get a mushroom farm going. Not really sure how that works. They should just do it automatically. I've heard something about mud plots or something, though. Like, we have 68 mud plots in that room. I don't know. I don't know if we have to use water or something to make mud, like we need a well in order for this to work properly. I'm not really sure the logistics of setting that up, but we'll figure it out later. It's not one of those things that's incredibly pressing right this second. As soon as they get done... How come people don't have skull helmets on? This is not a request. This is something that just happens. Like, I tell you to do it, and therefore you walk around civilization with a skull helmet on. This is for intimidational purposes. I don't even know if that's a real word, but you know what? I'm gonna make it up and I'm gonna use it because I can. It's intimidational. It's intimidationalizing. And so everything that sees it's like, whoa, we don't mess with those gnomes. They got skull helmets. And those skulls, they're made up of all kinds of different animals, which means they've been out and around just killing fools all day long, letting them clack, letting rounds fly, 9mm lullabies all day, in the rain, no pillowcase, and so forth. As I get into... Kevin Hart is one of my favorite comedians, by the way. Who doesn't love Kevin Hart? I bet somebody would be like, I hate Kevin Hart. Right after I say that, I think he's funny as hell. I think he's one of those people who's like really, really deserving of the fame that he's got, whereas there are other comedians I could name that are just like, so how did you get a Comedy Central special? Like, how did this happen? Did they just like run out of people to showcase today? Or I'm not understanding where they got you from. But anyways, maybe I'm just a hypercritical douchebag. That could also be the case. I am not kind to comedians. There are comedians that I love, and then there are other ones that I'm just like, what is this? What's going on here? What's the whole objective with all this? What's the directionality? But you know what? I'm a hater, I guess. That would just make me a hater because, frankly, they're getting money, so I'm happy for their success. It's all good. What is this right here? Oh, don't attack my miner. Don't attack my miner. Oh, damn it, miner. My miner's getting his ass whooped right now. Ooh, Kiba got beat to death. Bad day for Kiba. However, it was a bad day for the rest of them once they ran across the farts. Its first action reaction team does not mess around. They lay them low. They lay them real low. When they lay them down, it ain't like railroad tracks. It's like those mine carts that run underground. They lay those tracks real low. And we've lost yet another gnome. We seem to have really bad luck. Like, I don't know what these guys are doing, like, way out here in the middle of nowhere. Like, somebody grab a wheelbarrow and gather this stuff up, but they're doing it by hand. I can't tell you why they're not using wheelbarrows right now. This should have been done like 5 days ago, and it's putting them all at risk. As you can see, as they're running out to get all these supplies, they're dying over and over and over again. Is that a goblin head? Awesome. Just a severed goblin head laying on top of the rest of the corpses. Krogar, the caps lock, passes out from exhaustion. It's because he's been exclaiming too heartily. Is the pine grove just not gonna finish being planted, or are we just like done here? I'm not trying to be judgmental right now. I swear, I'm not trying to be a douche, or I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it just kind of seems like... Let's cut some clippings. And as soon as those are done, I may actually not chop these down. I may allow the clippings to go another, because I don't think we have enough clippings right now to replant this fully. Yeah, we only have 6 clippings, so I'm not thinking that this is going to be fully plantable by any means. So I may just clip this down, and then once it's been clipped, I may say, don't cut them. I'm sorry, cut clippings, but don't fell the trees. He's already on it, so it may get done, but all the rest of them leave up because we don't actually have the clippings. We may let this go like 1 or 2 seasons so that we can get all the clippings out. And then once we've got all the clippings out, we can actually start sustainably farming this stuff. Well, a bunch more kills, which means the sausage gets made, which is something that we haven't been doing lately, so we'll go ahead and chop these guys up. Obviously, we're going to have a whole lot of sausage to supply ourselves with in the future. I turned off drink production because we're up to like 250 drinks, and while they eat food all the time, our drinks are pretty satisfactory at the moment, so I'm not really concerned about you know, their consumption. We should be, with 243 drinks, we're not going to make it through winter, but we would make it pretty close. And with all the excess food that we have, I don't see any real problems arising. I think as soon as these torches are done, I don't know if I want to keep, I kind of want to get iron done before I start building above ground, just to make sure that we have steel gear. And then once we've got that, there's nowhere else to go, so we might as well start just kind of messing around with stuff. I'm going to build a few more wall torches here just to make sure we don't get any crazy invasions of skeletons or anything, because when they've got claymores and stuff, they can get pretty scary. I mean, they're not a massive threat, but they are definitely a hazard. We've got another mant down here, and the attack order is already out. Did they drop the attack order? Or are all my squads sleeping? There we go. Somebody get out here and handle this. I think they went to his last known location because they lost line of sight. This fight should be over pretty rapidly. Our guys are killing machines at this point, and this is exactly what you want. If you're looking for the optimal situation, if you've had your guys training properly, there should never be a threat in this game that can ever wipe you out. Like, it's very, very difficult. The few things that I could think about that were outside of your control are things like zombies. So zombies definitely have the propensity to get out of control really, really rapidly, and that's actually one of the few threats in the game that's a big, big problem. Beetles can be an issue, spiders can be an issue, but once again, if you've been training properly and you know how to deal with these enemies once they come down the line, they shouldn't be a big issue. I think zombies are really kind of the only outlier because they're largely based on RNG. Every time they hit you, you have a chance of getting infected when they use their bite attack. So if they end up infecting a bunch of people who then end up infecting a bunch of people, it can just be all around bad for you, and there's not going to be a whole lot you can do about it. Over here, I think I unqueued... Sure, if we got the materials for it, take sausage off the menu and we'll just make sandwiches. We'll allow them to craft the ingredients for it. As long as we've got meat, you might as well turn them into meals that are going to last a really, really long time. So we do have extra helmets, and I don't know why certain people aren't wearing them. Everybody should have Civi's uniform on. Certain people have not seen fit to go get their helmet on. And it saddens me. It saddens me that we don't have all-around conformity here in my society. We require conformity. Work to live, live to work. And so if you don't kind of conform with everything that we have going here in Nompton, you're putting yourself in a real, real strange spot. You're running the risk of getting jumped out. I mean, you know, end up with the Pumpkinhead Express. You never know. I don't know if it's even worth it to grab some of this coal out of the walls. I mean, it'll save me a little bit of time on crafting, but then again, it's just like more stuff that needs to be hauled. I might consider taking some of the gemstones out of there. I am really, really concerned that the iron is going to be just like off in a corner somewhere. I looked around and I panned through all the layers in between episodes. Like, I spent a good 5-10 minutes just kind of looking, and I don't see it exposed anywhere. So my only guess is that it's in the interior here. Anything else that I can say about it, I'm not really sure. So what I'll do is I'll start mashing out some of these walls, and I'll fix this in just a moment, by the way. Actually, I'll fix it right now. You don't want these to line up with the edge of the map. That'll get you in big trouble too, because monsters will spawn. It'll count this as like an open cavern over here. It's bad. It's really, really bad. There are little rules like that if you don't know them, you can get yourself into so much trouble once you start playing the game. Like, you can really... Your first couple games in this are going to go really, really badly for you because there's all these little undeclared rules about digging and mining and stuff like that that you have no idea until you try them out and you fail and you get yourself killed. And believe me, I have lost some societies in this game. I've lost a lot. And it can be pretty rage-inducing, too, when you put a lot of time into them, but I guess that's part of the learning process. I try to restrain myself nowadays from becoming frustrated about dumb stuff, but it happens. I mean, I don't know if it's like a predisposition in me where I just have like a temper or something. I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, I hate this. Punch wall. This is your fault, cabinet. You ever run into a cabinet like with your face on accident and then punch the cabinet like it was the cabinet's fault? That's basically my mentality right there. You'd be like, damn you, terrible cabinet from IKEA. I hate you so much. And then you hit the cabinet and you break it and you're like, ah, damn you, fist. Why are you so rocky hard? Why? Why are you so good at destroying cheap furniture? And that's a guide to Splattercat's thought process. We just transfer the rage from one thing to the next. It can't be helped. So on this side, it doesn't look like we've hit... you see that he bounced back and forth there for a second? He couldn't decide which tunnel he liked best. Like, well, I really like this tunnel, but the next one definitely seems to be kind of useful. I don't... Oh, there's a cavern over there. Builders, let's handle this right this second. So terrain, we need to put in a wall right there, right now. Avoid any accidents before things get worse. I am thankful that the bears have been jumping in on our side over and over and over again. My guess is that the spawn point is the same. And with a lot of the passive animals, it seems like all of the enemies are coming from either the direct, like, this direction. I'm going to call this north for now, or they're coming from the west. And so I think what happens is you get the passive creatures and they just kind of dither, and the AI looks around for you. The AI of enemies that are not neutral will actually look around for things to raid, and if they can't find it, then they'll get jumped by monsters or something. I don't know. They seem to attack indiscriminately. Not really sure how the whole thing works. Let's go ahead and put in our torches as we have been doing this entire time. So on this time, I'm going to keep an eye on this. I don't know if this is going to illuminate all 12 squares. We're going to try though. So there it is. Very, very bad luck. I'll probably carry this tunnel down now and look around over here. The other thing is, you're probably saying you could just go down to a different layer. Your chances go up the deeper down you get, and that is true. But as you can see, the space that... Well, this layer is actually looking pretty good for mining. I may put in a stairwell that takes us down to the minus 58, because this is looking pretty wide open down here. At least until you get out towards the periphery. But anyways, this little area... I may mine this out on every single floor just until we find iron. We don't really have a choice. We have to get into iron. It's not something that could be avoided. And I apologize. I render these in batches, so if you've seen the iron right now and you've been shouting at me for like the last 3 episodes that there is iron and I haven't seen it, I'm really, really sorry about it. I have incredibly bad eyesight, like to the extent that you don't even know. Like, they arrest me. If I get caught outside without my glasses driving, like, I go to jail. Like, they impound my car. It's that bad. So... bad eyesight combined with... I am nearsighted, I will say that, so I shouldn't have any problem seeing anything right here, but I don't know. I have my glasses on right now, so doubly the excuse will not work, but I'm gonna make it nonetheless. It's not my fault! I think over on... well, we gotta wait for torches to get put in place. That's the big kind of downer about this whole thing, and not having enough builders. On the plus side, I'm going to forage out all of our trees right now. Just to mention that I did, because that should put us back up to like the 700 mark with our food. Our drinks are a little bit low at the moment, but our cows are doing an amazing job of just like keeping us from diminishing too rapidly. Did we get a male or a female alpaca? Let me see here. Well, one of them's not inside the pasture, so we gotta wait until Poot comes around and just deems it necessary to do her job. These guys down here, I don't know if it's really necessary that they be hanging out and doing training any longer, but since they're like chilling down here anyways, they might as well. I would love to get some male yaks. Like, I would really, really like some male yaks. I'm going to build a few more storage crates down here so that we can store more food. And I like to space these out in rows, just so it looks like they can walk on top of crates and it's not going to get in the way of their work order. But I like to place crates like in little kind of rows so that they look a little bit nicer. We had 1 crate on hand and we should have planks on hand already too, so this should be a fairly quick job. That's why early on in the game I always tell them to keep like 25 planks around, just in case. Although we have been building a lot of torches, so there is the possibility that maybe we don't have a lot of crates. We also want to watch out for the possibility that they start building like legendary crates. And just being like, here's a crate that's worth 20,000 gold, have fun, enjoy the invasions. And then all the goblins along the periphery and like the outside of our kingdom are sitting around just like, have you seen that crate that they have in Nompton? We're like, yeah, that's the greatest crate I've ever seen. I must have it. I must take that crate. It must be a part of everything that I own. What's going on right here, Muscle Butts? Like, where's that helmet at? I mean, you should definitely think about... I think it might be under the military menu with uniforms. Well, maybe not. I think there's a way you can force everybody to put on the gear that they're assigned, but I'm not recalling at the moment. I mean, technically, I wish that we could just, like, click on them and be like, here, put this on from, like, a drop-down menu that told you all the gear you had, and it would put it at the top of the priority, and they would just go get it. Because you run into weird spots like this every now and again, and as you can see, our stock room is clearing out rather nicely. I'm going to take a look at our overall food stocks for the moment, because I think that's something that we haven't really looked at in a while. I know we've got a lot of fruit, but I'm more interested in the processed food that we have around. So you have 16 loaves of bread. That's not actually that terrible. And what I need to do is I need to rearrange the order right here. We'll move that up. There we go. And so now the sandwiches will get made if we have the materials to do so. And sandwiches will keep your guys stocked for days without having to eat. It's great. Sandwiches are absolutely 100% fantastic for keeping your guys in the workforce, not running around doing random stuff. So that's always a good thing to know, because productivity is job one whenever you're hanging out in Nompton. If you aren't doing your work, as I said, Pumpkinhead Express, get yourself jumped out, and then we send you up to the Rag Kingdom with the rest of the scrubs. Don't tell the Rag Kingdom I said that. We can't handle any invasions right now. I don't want to go to war with my fellow kinsmen if I don't have to. This is getting a little bit depressing over on this side. Iron tends to be like in little weird pockets, though. I've had this issue before. What I would love to do is actually make a transfer over here. So basically what the transfer would be is you open this up right here, you make a floor that goes across, and then you put walls on both sides so that you have like a little land bridge right here, but it still keeps you safe from all the canyons. But it's a really, really risky build operation if you can't get it done quickly. I may try for it in the next episode, I don't know. Actually, yeah, let's go for it. Let's see if we can't. Actually, no, don't do it right now. We'll wait until we actually have the rest of the tunnels run. That's a bad idea right now. I've got to run a tunnel down to here for this to really work the way that I want it to. Alright, and so I'm pretty happy with our... Well, I'm not happy with our progress right now. I wish we had found iron, to be honest. I think a more time-efficient way to do this might be just to dig. I mean... And I definitely, of course, they're going to build the wrong one first. Welcome to gnomes. Cancel the job. Oh, that's right. It's going to be right there. There we go. And so what's that? Like, I think I may... do something like this, just like... medium-scale corridor mining just to find out what's down here. Oh, damn it, I forgot that was going to cancel that out. I always do that. That's one of those things, it's one of those features that I always forget about. And of course, one more time. Cancel you. There we go. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to drop a stairwell over here so I can get down to this layer, because this layer is actually a little bit more consolidated than the other layers with regards to the distribution of materials. That's lead. Damn. Like, I know it's got to be down here somewhere. We just need to find it. And I'm thinking this may be the time to just abandon the 51 and try for lower, better pastures of stone and rocks. But anyways, I'm going to break off the episode right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Gnomoria. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.